Hello, my lovelies. Well, I just thought I'd talk about this article that has appeared in the Mirror a couple of days ago, linking SC attacks to migrationist dangerous racist diversion, warn 100 women's rights groups. And I thought, so wait a minute, why are women's rights groups getting involved in this? So, what they've done is they've written a letter to Keir Starmer and Yvette Cooper. Organisations including Rape Crisis England and Wales and End Violence Against Women Coalition and Refuge called on ministers to stand up to the dangerous narrative. And I thought, wait a minute, what are these groups getting involved in this for? Aren't they supposed to be helping women who are victims of violence, whether it's migrants or whether it isn't migrants? Why are they getting involved in this? And if I looked far enough, I'd sniff the money. There's always money behind something like this, or wanting money, or trying to get money. And I'll get to the point where I was right. There's always, we want money. Because it's odd why they would want to get involved in this. But I'll read a bit of it out. More than 100 women's rights groups have warned racist attempts to link sexual violence with immigration are putting victims at increased risk. Rape Crisis England and Wales, the End Violence Against Women Coalition and Refuge are among the organisations warning anti-migrant groups and politicians are hijacking survivors' trauma. They have signed a letter to Keir Starmer and Home Secretary Yvette Cooper warning that sexual abuse must not be used for political gain and those who spread misinformation should be held to account. Wait a minute. If this was a group standing up against, or standing up for, I should say, migrants, I could understand them writing that letter. But these are groups for women who suffer violence from men. So what I can't work out here is why they'd make this a main issue, such an issue that they'd write a letter. Now, they point out the asylum hotel demonstrations that have gone on, and they include Nigel Farage and Robert Jenrick. So this is political. They're moaning on that it's being used for political advantage, but actually they're making it political themselves by including those people. And I still say, why would they be involved in this? Aren't they supposed to be helping all women? Anyway, we go on and go on. And I just want to get to the bit where I suddenly thought, oh, here it is. Here we go. This is where the money comes in, the begging bowl. They said violence against women and girls must be tackled with investment in prevention services and support for survivors, but state instead of the issue being hijacked by people seeking to use women and girls' pain and trauma and the threat of it for political gain. There we are, there's the begging bowl. They're saying, we are telling you what you want to hear, Keir, because we know Keir Starmer wants to hear that. We know Yvette Cooper wants to hear that. So they're telling them what they want to hear. And this is another thing about a lot of groups like this. They're political themselves. You'll find that when they were younger, people involved in these groups were in the students' union, whatever. They were union members. It always comes out like that. And we know that unions are linked to the anti-demonstration or pro-migration demonstrations. But why I still say this, right? What would you feel like if you were a female who had suffered violence or a serious attack, you know what I'm talking about, from a migrant? Would you feel comfortable going to one of those 100 organisations? Would you? And it'd be interesting to know how many of these organisations actually spoke out about grooming gangs. I've got a funny feeling none of them did. You say, this is it which you've got. I've said this about the NSPCC. I mean, I'm going off tangent a bit here. But I always said you have to be careful with the NSPCC. They're very much in with the establishment and very much government-led and dictated to. And that's why the government used them to do their investigations and their inquiries. But actually, I know when I worked with the police that the NSPCC were turning a blind eye when it was a VIP person or a political person or someone with power. Remember, they knew about Savile and did nothing, and it's been found out that people who were a danger to children were working with them. And so you have to say to yourself, how confident would a woman be who had been a victim of a migrant go to these support groups? I don't think they would. And I'll say it again, Kim, why are they getting involved in this? Why? Well, it's obvious. Because I'll read you again. The said violence against women and girls must be tackled with investment and prevention services and support for survivors. Give us money, beg and borrow. We're telling you what you want to hear, Kay. We're telling you what you want to hear, Yvette Cooper. Give us money, give us money. That's what it's all about. That's what it all is all about. But it really is more or less saying, don't come to us if it's a migrant that is attacked you, because we don't want to know, because we'll think that you're racist. I'll leave it at that.